Mate, have you got anything on you that you shouldn't have?
No, there's no weapons or nothing.
Right.
Do you just want to undo your coat? Have you armed yourself?
Yeah.
You have?
Have you stabbed yourself, mate?
I can see blood on your hands.
Yeah.
Anywhere else?
Just my chest, 4 inches in with a bread knife.
Can we have a look?
And one on the stomach. I bled quite.
Right, do you want to... Yeah. No, just stay there.
I just don't want to be in front of them.
Alright, just round the corner.
Just walking wounded at the minute.
Alright, stand here. Stay here.
Right,
So,
we're told, I know what's going to happen to you now, mate.
Well, I know it's going to happen
We just
when we go to prison, obviously, but again.
Wow, have you done something to anyone else?
Yeah.
What have you done?
I've murdered 4 people.
He's been calm and compliant, but he's got some stab wounds to his chest. They're not oozing blood, but he's saying that his family are inside and that he believes he has murdered them.
do you want to go?
Are you alright for me to go in? Damien, it's 07:47 hours. I'm arresting you on suspicion of murder. You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence. Do not mention when questioned something later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Your arrest is necessary to protect you from harm, to prevent your disappearance, for a prompt and effective investigation. Okay? We're going to get you up, we're going to put you in the back of the van.
Basically, I need the police and the ambulance now because I've killed 4 people.
Okay, just hold the line. Bear with me.
When officers arrived at the house in Chandos Crescent, they found the bodies of 35-year-old Terri Harris, her 2 children, 11-year-old Lacey Bennett and 13-year-old son, John-Paul Bennett, and Lacey's friend, Connie Gent, also 11, from Sheffield.
I really appreciate you joining me today, and this is a follow-up to a story that I originally covered a year ago. I believe this story is really important because it highlights a lot of different issues around child safety and also how to prevent something like this from happening in the future. During this video, I will only say the killer's name once because from reading the court papers, I believe that he enjoys the notoriety that he has gained. And I want to make this video dedicated to the children and the mother who lost their lives on that fateful day. It is really hard to imagine or fathom what all them children went through in the moments before their murders and also the year before, because in court it has now been revealed that the mother's boyfriend was sexually abusing one of the children. On Sunday, September the 19th last year, at 7 a.m. in the morning, Damien Bendall rang his mother. He told her that he had murdered 4 people and then he went to the shop to buy tobacco. His mother then rang the police and told them that her son had a self-inflicted stab wound. The killer used one of the victim's phones, Connie, a friend of the family who was staying over, to call 999, where he told them that he'd murdered 4 people and also said the police have just arrived. The defendant told the police when they arrived, "I'm going back to prison again. I've murdered 4 people." When the police asked him why, he said, "I don't know, I blacked out," while he was doing a cocktail of drugs. And he said that he changed clothes several times because of the blood. The wounds that he suffered were self-inflicted and he was taken to hospital and given a couple of stitches. And all he said was that he didn't want to go to prison. It was revealed in court as well, the officer that attended the scene, PC Stubbs, discovered the bodies and he found the naked body of John lying on the floor. He found the bodies of Lacey and Terri in the main bedroom. And he found the friend of Lacey, Connie, in the second bedroom. The prosecution said that Terri's body was found in the master bedroom of the property. And in terms of injuries, the examination found that she had multiple blunt force traumas to the head and face. She was hit at least 9 times by the killer. Lacey was found face down on the bed in the same room as her mother too. She suffered a fractured skull and at least 1 hammer blow. Lacey was found with her nightdress pulled up and bundled tightly around her neck, so the nightdress itself was used to strangle her. Further evidence showed that he had also raped Lacey. Lacey's friend Connie was found face down on the middle bedroom of the property and the cause of death was injuries to the head. The home where it happened on Chandos Street has been boarded up ever since and there are now calls for it to be demolished. While in custody, the killer said the whole house was covered in blood. "I used a hammer, I didn't realise what I did until I woke up and saw the missus and her daughter dead." He also said to police, "I bet you don't get 4 murders in Killamarsh, do you?" "Well, actually 5 because my missus was having a baby." It was also revealed in court that he'd made confessions inside H&P Wakefield and said he murdered his girlfriend, her children, and one of her friends. The prosecution argued that the rape and murder of Lacey alone could justify a rarely issued whole life tariff, let alone the additional 3 other murders. Bendall refused to look at the judge during the sentencing, and the judge, Justice Sweeney, said, "You are now 32 years old and have a significant background of violent offending. In April 2020, you began a relationship with Terri Harris, an abusive and controlling relationship, and you distanced Terri from her family. On September the 18th, you carried out a brutal attack on a defenceless woman and 3 children. You attacked Lacey downstairs and carried her upstairs where you raped her, on the bed where her mother had also been killed." The judge gave him a total of 5 life sentences. Bendall's main defence throughout the trial was that he suffered a neurological disorder, and there was a lot of specialists that took part in the trial to try to ascertain if this was true, and the judge put reporting restrictions on anybody saying that this was happening. And this is why it took so long for them to be able to convict him and get him jailed. The father of the victim, Connie, said in a victim impact statement that the murder of my daughter has torn my life apart. I feel totally lost with the pain and stress, and I feel like I've become a lost soul, trying to navigate my way through life without her. Terry's mother, Angela Smith, said, "Some days I question the meaning of my own existence. I struggle to try to explain to my parents what happened." And Jason Bennett, the father of John and Lacey, said, "The murder of my 2 children has destroyed me. I can't kiss them, and I used to be scared of dying, but now I just want the pain to end." So this story is truly one of the hardest that I think I've ever covered on the channel, and at the same time it definitely highlights the dangers that can be posed to children by people who are meant to look after them. And I believe that Damien Bendall had been discovered for previously abusing Lacey, and that is why he killed everybody. But when you speak about this story, please do not say his name. Talk about the children, talk about the memories of these children, and don't let these killers get the notoriety that they desire. So really appreciate you joining me today, and I send my condolences to the family. And please don't forget to follow on social media at Scarcity Studios.
The families of Terri, Lacey, John-Paul and Connie have all been informed, and my thoughts, along with all at Derbyshire Constabulary, are with them at this most tragic time. This has been an understandably shocking event that has deeply affected the local community in Killamarsh, as well as Connie's family and friends in Sheffield, and our thoughts are also with them. I would also like to state my thanks to those officers who arrived at the scene with such speed, as well as colleagues from the East Midlands Ambulance Service who attended the incident, all acting with immense professionalism in a difficult situation. Whilst understandably worrying and upsetting, this is believed to be an isolated incident in which those involved were known to one another and nobody else is being sought in connection with the deaths. The force did not have any prior contact with those involved. The man officers arrested at the scene, a 31-year-old from Killamarsh, remains in police custody on suspicion of the murders of Terri, Lacey, John-Paul and Connie.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lacey. Happy birthday to you. Make a wish. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Make a wish.